in Nevada. The songs to that song that you will hear most beautifully sung tonight. I'm not going to sing it, but I will read it. 58 Stars by Kiera Brown. 58 hearts, 58 brand new stars light up the sky tonight. This is our home. We must go on. Vegas strong. In the darkest of nights, we will join in their light, and only together we will shine. We'll strengthen our love with the power of hug. This is our home. Vegas strong. 58 hearts, 58 brand new stars light up the sky tonight. This is our home. We can go on. Vegas strong. Together we'll rise with hearts burning bright. We have overcome love's spirit in fight. We'll show the world we're the brightest of lights. This is my home. Vegas strong. 58 hearts, 58 brand new stars light up the sky tonight. This is our home. We can go on. Vegas strong, Vegas strong, Vegas strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki, and I apologize for catching you with a mouthful. Kurt, do you want to present us with a patriotic song today? And if anybody has any problem with motion sickness, then just listen to the song and don't watch the screen.
This is my country, proudest father. Blessing my allegiance on America. What difference if I hail from north or south or from the east? My heart is still with God. I only know I stand in my
And if you would join me now in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. And thank you to all of the 25 Club members and others who are helping with today's meeting. Kathy for setup, Bert for greeter, Nikki for the invocation, Judith, our sergeant at arms, Bruce helping with the teardown, Renee, I think I saw you up there. Renee is going to be our scribe today, and our photographer and resident expert on the Blue Angels flying demonstration team, Steve Linder, past president Steve Linder. Thank you. We are privileged today to have two people from the Wheelchair Foundation with us, one live and in person and one up on the screen. And so, John, if you'd like to come say a few words about the Wheelchair Foundation and embarrass Jim Hunn, who wasn't here to do it live.
I see old Jim up there and Karen up there. When I was a Rotarian back, I think in 2002 to 2006, and I recognized Steve, of course, and where's Randy Donald? Okay. Anyway, I'm glad to be not a member yet officially, but I will be today. Yeah, Nevada Wheelchair Foundation was started back in 2001, and we gave out 10,000 wheelchairs brand new. And then my brother called me about 8 months ago and said, John, you're back in business. So here I am. And my first call was to Mr. Hunt. And Jim really took the ball and ran for it. And then he has his team of 5 or 6 that delivers wheelchairs personally. I think we're up to about 60 to 70. I think, Jim.
We're getting there. We got a lot of thanks to you and your brother, John. And I'll talk about that a little bit when we induct you for sure.
Oh, thank you. We're trying to get the Las Vegas Raiders right now, but I'm fighting with them because they want a black wheelchair. Our wheelchairs are Ferrari red. But my brother said, John, if they buy 3 containers, 4 containers, we'll paint them black. We'll get Jim Hunt and Ross and everybody to paint them with a spray can or something. But we will do it, and we will match the funds like we do everybody else. Our goal is 10,000 wheelchairs in about 5 years. So I know that that's a big expense, but I don't talk about raising money or anything at a Rotary because you guys do so much now. Because time and labor is money, as you know. And that's what I need. I need advertising. If somebody knows a printer, I need help. We got 1 paid employee in the state of Nevada. I have 300 wheelchairs sitting in Reno, sitting Elko. So I need help. So if you know any Rotarians up there in Reno, have them call me, please. And then, but I have an army of volunteers now. I have some Filipino nurses and doctors. They all want to jump aboard. I have a 10-man team, a 10-person team helping me right now. But talk more about this. But if you have any questions, you can call me anytime. Thank you.
As many of you know, the governor is allowing Lowry's to have up to 250 people. And so in the coming weeks, we're waiting for Lowry's to work out the logistics, but we'll have all 3 of these rooms like we used to. And we won't have to limit our attendance to only 50 people. However, if you would, we're going to continue to ask you to RSVP. So for 2 reasons. 1, so we can plan, and 2, because the decision was made last year by the board to require RSVPs until we're out from under this virus issue, just to keep track of who has made an effort to let us know they want to come here. The club survey has been distributed. If you haven't already completed it, please find the online version that was sent to you. I don't know whether we have paper copies here today or not, but it's definitely on your email. And we certainly look forward to finding out what your thoughts are. The canned food drive is still going on. I think Rose was selling tickets as you came in. And we are well on our way towards meeting the 25 clubs target. But Renee, if you wanted to say something about the canned food drive, please feel free.
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you to Rose, who just sent all of your orders for today, putting us at probably just 105 tickets left to sell out of 300. So we're at about over, yeah, that's definitely great news. Over $4,000 have been raised so far just in the raffle, and I've sent you all an email with a flyer as well as a Facebook link to where out-of-state people can donate, and that has already raised $210 as of this morning. So thank you all for your generosity. Please buy more tickets, and on November 12th, we're excited to announce the $5,000 winner.
Thank you, Renee. Tony, did you want to say something about the orientation meeting coming up?
I'm going this way. For those of you that may not have seen it in your email, the new member orientation is set for Tuesday, October 6th. It is at my house, way on the southwest side off of Blue Diamond and Grand Canyon. We have right now about 21, 22 people coming. My house is not huge, so we're looking at trying to max out at 30. So if any of you are still interested in participating and attending and honoring, we'll have, I think it's going to be 6 new members, which is pretty amazing. Sign up, RSVP, tell me, tell Rosalie, we'll write it on our sheet so we get it done. Oh, it's 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
I don't see Ted McAdams here. Do we have a volunteer that would like to lead the singing of happy birthday to our October birthdays? Maybe we can all together. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Right. And Judith, if you would take the microphone over to the birthday table, and each of our birthday children.
Everybody has to put masks on to talk. Oh, just the face. Ooh, there's some non-birth.
Okay.
I get to hold it.
Oh. Hi, I'm Julie Rock. My birthday is October 30th, and I will be 84. And I have been a vegetarian for 33 years, and I enjoy this club more than any of them. Thank you.
Well, it's my birthday month, so I thought I better sit here so I didn't get fined. But I'm excited to celebrate another year, not really, but I am excited though that this is my 15th year in Rotary. So.
Thank you, Sean.
Hello, I'm Bruce Frazee. I joined Rotary in Wichita, Kansas in 1983. And then I moved to Miami, became a Miami Rotarian. And I have to say, this club is awesome.
Thank you, Kim. So you're all going to be fined for sitting at the birthday table. So if you'd like to say a few words, get in a plug or something for your money's worth.
Hi, my name is Kim, and my birthday is normally in January. But since I have my friend here, I thought I would find a seat up front so I can show her the best of Rotary because she's a visitor. So I hope you'll take that into consideration as you consider an appropriate fine.
Thank you, Kim. Mask?
Richard, I think they should be fined that they have to buy a ticket for the Salvation Army canned food drive.
And I think Kirk Alexander will give a pass to, because he's working the AV equipment right there by him. So. Well, happy birthday to everybody who's, oh, sure.
So they had to make a chair for me to sit in, actually. So this is the only table they could add a seat to, literally. So here I am. And January, we'll wait for them to celebrate my birthday.
Very good.
I'm just a Cinco de Mayo baby, so I go where all the great parties are at.
Well, congratulations to all of the October birthdays, including the people who weren't able to be physically in attendance here. I'm happy to say that we got our second shipment of these very stylish Rotary face masks. So as you're going around town, if you want to advertise something more than just, oh, I bought a paper mask at CVS, you can acquire a beautiful blue Rotary face mask with the Rotary logo on them. We're selling them for the same price we did before, $5 each. And this time, because we were able to acquire a lot more, we're going to sell package deals as well. So anybody that buys 5 face masks, in addition to them looking stylish, will give you a Rotary license plate frame so that your car can be stylish and advertise Rotary all around town. And for people who buy 10 or more of these stylish masks, we have Rotary baseball hats. Just in case somebody can't read the logo on your cheek, they'll read it on your forehead. So we'll begin selling those immediately. And you are invited to purchase masks so that you can walk around town advertising Rotary to everybody who sees you. Santa Claus, is somebody from the North Pole?
Well, we took a flight back down to stay a little warmer. You know, it's getting chilly up there, but no, things are going good with Santa Claus. I have some great news. As a matter of fact, just received this morning from Sean that we have been approved and in fact have already received a check from the Inglestead Family Foundation for $18,500. So things are going well. We don't have the same restrictions that we were going to have for shoppers. So feel free to sign up for each of the malls. We'll manage that list as we go forward, but it looks like we'll all be able to shop together like we normally have in the past. So it'll be a nice time for us to still social distance, but see one another, hopefully on December 3rd. So please sign up.
Thank you, Jim. Sticking with gyms and past presidents who are named Jim. Jim Cole, did you have an announcement about the COVID test vaccine?
So
So I had my second injection today, and I was talking with the physician, and he reports to me that everybody who's taken it has had the similar experiences I've had, which is that it is very mild. You have maybe a sore arm, maybe a slight fever. That's consistent with a report from the New England Journal of Medicine. And so it looks like it's going to be safe. It appears that it's going to be effective. And so we're marching forward. We're just waiting to collect all the data, and then we'll be able to hopefully have one. This one looks like it will be approved maybe close to year end. So good news. There's light at the end of the tunnel officially now, and just want to let everybody know.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah. And he did exercise that hand that grew out of my chest. That was a little snip.
And last but not least, for announcements, we have started selling raffle tickets for the weekly drawings to people who are not physically present. And you can contact Sean by Wednesday before a meeting and let her know how many raffle tickets you want charged to your account. And we will take care. If you have the winning ticket, we will make arrangements to either get the Lowry Bucks to you, or if you have the winning ticket to draw the Joker, we're going to ask you to be optimistic when you contact Sean. Let her know who your proxy would be to pull the ticket for you, and if you don't pick a proxy, we will have the guest speaker pick a card for you if you're not physically present at the meeting. So we're trying very hard to continue to blend in the people who are not physically here. And we're certainly hoping that in the not too distant future, everybody can be here. Everybody will feel safe coming here. On that note, for the raffle, for this week's raffle, the winning ticket is someone who's in the room with ticket number 8139 638. All right, Kathy. Come on down. You forgot your mask. Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Ooh, an ace. So we'll give you a $10 down payment on your $50 that you just won. Thank you. And it looks like the Lowry Bucks also go to somebody who's here in the room. Ticket 8139645. All right. Now the question is, how are you going to take a selfie? There you go. Congratulations. Thank you. Huh? All right. I don't think we have any more. any more announcements, and so I'll give you a minute to, oh, I'm sorry, we do have an announcement about the Peace Conference. And as you know, October is also Polio Plus month, and so I believe Kim is going to have something to tell us about both the Peace Conference and Polio Plus this month.
Hi, everybody. So the month of October, we got two major things happening in Rotary World. October 24th is World Polio Day. So this month, the focus for Rotary International is to increase giving. We need folks to contribute whatever they can in support of our Polio Plus campaign. You can go to rotary.org and access Polio Plus from there. And whatever it is that you're capable of giving will go towards a long way to eradicate polio. As you know, there are only two countries where we still have polio, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And we almost, we eradicated polio in Africa with the success we had in Nigeria, and primarily thanks to the contributions and work of Rotarians across the globe. So that's a big thing. And the second thing is our annual peace conference with District 5300. It's also taking place on October 24th. And the beauty of it this year is everything is virtual. So from now on October 24th, that's a Saturday, you can check your email. You have a Zoom link on there, and you can access that to be part of this peace conference that we hold every year. The 31st edition. This year, we're featuring Mark Daniel Maloney, the immediate past president of Rotary International, as well as a lead economist from the World Bank. And the primary theme is, how do we emerge from COVID-19 stronger? How has COVID-19 impacted Rotary's priorities and opportunities of working together? And we're also going to explore the economic impacts of COVID-19. So October 24th, World Polio Day. Make a contribution if you can. And also Peace Conference for District 5300. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim. And now if our two co-chairs of our membership committee are willing to take a break from their meal and come up, I believe we have some new members.
May I ask Susan Zebro and John Williams to finish chewing and come up and stand by Rosalie? Please. We are delighted to have two more people being inducted today, Susan Zebro and John Williams. And first, we'll take Susan, and her sponsor is Karen Wisenhunt, to introduce her to us, please. Karen?
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my great pleasure to introduce my friend, Susan Zebro. To many of you, Susan doesn't even need an introduction. She is well known by many of our members, as she has a long history of supporting the Las Vegas Rotary Club. Susan was the former Sean Norda of our club. As the former executive director of the club, Susan has a great understanding of all our projects, how the membership works, the club, and the organization in itself. Since leaving the club, Susan has continued to support the Las Vegas Rotary Club by attending functions and making contributions to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation. Today, it is my great honor to welcome Susan back to the Las Vegas Rotary Club.
If we could have Susan just say a few words, basically why she's here.
Thank you, fellow Rotarians. I can now say fellow Rotarians. It's wonderful to be here, and I'm so grateful to be brought back into the club. Thanks to Karen for always keeping in touch with me and for helping me navigate this wonderful opportunity. I look forward to being involved again in some of the longtime programs, existing programs, some that started when I was here with Jim Hunt and Bob McBrien when Santa Claus began. And I'm also looking forward to help with the new programs. I'd love to read to school children, and I'd like to help Tony with the Spread the Word Nevada program as well. I'll put my skills to use anywhere you need them. And again, I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you very much for this warm welcome.
Next, we have John Williams, and his sponsor is Jim Hunt. Mr. Hunt, if you would introduce, please.
Thank you, Tony. Hello again, fellow Rotarians and honored guests. It really is a great honor and pleasure to welcome back John Williams. I also first want to say welcome back and welcome to Susan, because she was just so outstanding in all those years that she helped our club. And I can't wait to see you in person, Susan, and welcome you in the club. John Williams, I'll give you a few bullet points and I'll say a couple things about him other than the bullet points. But he's been around for more than 20 years. Many of you may know him from him and his brother operating the Imperial Car Collection at the Link, or Imperial Palace when it was. He's been with the Nevada Wheelchair Foundation for more than a couple of decades. He's the director of business affairs for the First Persons Care Clinic. He's a past president of a Lions Club, which we won't hold against him. He's 14 years nonprofit radio host. He's been with his significant other, Ivy, for 13 years with 3 children, Sean, 47, Jennifer, 42, and Shane, who's 40 years old. And somehow he also finds time to operate a shoe, sandal, and leather store at the New Mikado, which is where the J.C. Penney store is located at the Boulevard Mall, where we used to all go shop in the very early days of Santa Claus. All I can tell you that this guy eats, drinks, sleeps, and breathes community service and helping those who are less fortunate. It's a pleasure and honor to welcome a good friend of mine back to our club. John, please everybody help me welcome John back into the club.
And John, if you would say just a few words, please.
Well, thank you, Jim. It's good to see you on there, and Karen. I'm here for you, not just with the Wheelchair Foundation. I'm here for you for different activities, fundraising events. I know about every foundation in Las Vegas. I can help you out, just a phone call. We can get some publicity with the wheelchairs, because you guys are my #1 distributor, my backers. If you don't know that the Wheelchair Foundation worldwide, we've done 1.2 million wheelchairs, and Rotary's right behind them. I mean, but I just want to say thank you, and thank you, Jim. And it's good to see some faces that I probably forgot your name by now, but just call me anytime. I got my business cards with me, and I'll be here every Thursday at 12 o'clock.
Wonderful. Go back there. Now it's my pleasure to give the formal induction. Fellow Rotarians, it is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time, so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Today, we welcome and admit to membership Susan Ziobro and John Williams. To each of you, sharing a prior attachment to this club, Susan having served as executive director for our club a number of years ago, and John is a former member of this club and the driving force behind the Wheelchair Foundation. You have been invited to membership in this club because we believe you to be a worthy representative and possess the qualities that will permit you to exemplify in your public, business, and social and private life the true spirit of Rotary. We welcome your heart and service in joining the club to engage in Rotary International's current theme, Rotary Opens Opportunities. You are being admitted not only to the Las Vegas Rotary Club, but a worldwide association. And by virtue of that membership in this club, you will be welcomed into the fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. When we join Rotary, we become part of something much bigger than ourselves. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it duties and obligations. We anticipate your attendance at the club's meetings, to perform your share of club service and to place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of the club in its task of carrying the principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. Lastly, and by no means least, is our ideal of friendship. As you expect to receive, so give. May you be stimulated by the friendship you find here, and may we in turn know you to be an added source of strength to our club. The pin you will receive is a symbol by which your fellow Rotarians and the community at large will recognize you as a Rotarian, and we ask that you wear it proudly. On behalf of the Las Vegas Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary Club in the world, its board of directors, and our membership, we welcome you both and declare you both duly inducted into the club. Yay! Yay! Thank you. Oh, you need the four of us. Okie dokie.
Maybe you can Photoshop in Gemini into the picture.
And Tom, I know that there's a lot of our members who want to know more about Rotoplast. Can you find a speaker that can explain Rotoplast to our membership?
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Fortunately, we have an expert on Rotoplast with us, and more importantly, Janet is a fellow Rotarian. She's past president of the Green Valley Rotary Club, which I think is also one of the greatest Rotary clubs in the world, as I understand. You know, we in this club, we talk a lot about the activities that we do through our own foundation, the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation, and rightfully so, because it affects our community here. And we always need to check back and look and study what's going on with Rotary International, because we're a major part of what's taking place there. When you think of the 1.2 million Rotarians around the world and the impact they have on the world through the Rotary Foundation, that foundation last year had inflows of about $390 million through investments and donations, your donations. The outflows were about $340 million. And close to 90 million of that went out specifically in global grants, supporting missions like Rotoplast. And we should periodically go into the Rotary International website and really deep dive into all the things that we as a small group that helps comprise a much larger group of 1.2 million Rotarians worldwide is able to achieve. So I'm happy to turn the time over to Janet to hear about the great service that she's done in this mission of Rotoplast. And more importantly, Janet attended the greatest university and law school in the world, Go Utes.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, folks. I've heard about your club as the stellar club for years. It was always on my to-do list, and now I finally did it. And you know what? You guys are the greatest club. Ours is the funnest club. We are a little irreverent, but so anyway, but I appreciate the welcome. I've gotten involved with Rotoplast in 2015, and in fact, as I was coming into one of the first meetings I went to, exploring it and sort of seeing if this is something I wanted to do, Roger Schulte was speaking about going on a Rotoplast mission and encouraging people to apply. Well, I have a wanderlust and I love going sort of embedding in different countries. That's sort of the thing I really like. So I applied, and literally, I remember driving in the middle of Utah, and Rotoplast was looking at my application, but we couldn't. I had to get the club to accept me, so Rotoplast, and literally it was like happening at the same time. So about the first thing I did as a Rotarian was go on this Rotoplast mission. And I went as a, well, you called a photojournalist in 2015 to Guatemala, but now we call historians, because if you say you're a journalist, some countries won't let you in. And so, so I became a historian. And I was so fascinated by the entire process. I came home, at the last minute, I like grabbed my husband's DSL camera. I thought, oh, I got this little thing, it's okay. But I thought, okay, I'll just take this. And literally, I'm sitting in the airport trying to learn the programs and how to use the camera, because I can write, but so and I can take pictures, but so it was an interesting adventure. But I'll tell you, I came home and I went out and bought a very fancy camera, because I'm like, I want to go again. But it took me 5 years to go again. And I want to tell you about both trips, because I think it gives you a bigger view of what Rotoplast does. Because the trips were so very different between Guatemala and India. Rotoplast has been in existence for 27 years. It was created by some Rotarians that were also medical doctors. And what it does is they get doctors to volunteer. They'll get plastic surgeons. We had an oral surgeon with us on this thing. And the main goal at the time it was founded was to take care of cleft lip and cleft palates. Now, that is also something that's very close to me, because I have a great nephew who was born with a cleft palate. And I know the number of surgeries that he's had over the years, and sort of the psychological burden, some of that brings with it. And so that's another secondary interest. So, and then they get medical staffers, they get anesthesiologists, they get nurses, and then they get non-medical volunteers. Now, obviously, I am a non-medical volunteer, since I stopped taking science classes in 10th grade, and with great pride and later remorse. But, and I would encourage you, if anybody has an interest in this, to applying when they get up and running again, because it is a marvelous experience. So to date, for those 27 years, they've got 220 missions to 26 countries, treating 20,200 patients. The other thing that I like about Rotoplast is I'm sort of cheap in a way, and I want to get the most bang for my buck. And in Rotoplast, you get, when you do get the most bang for the buck, because let's see if this is working. Which button do I push? Because $400 can pay for one of these surgeries that we do. And that is just an amazingly small amount of money to literally change a person's life. And so, could you just click it to the next slide, please? We can do it that way. So, okay, if you go back. So This is the, thank you. This is the team that goes to the first day. And we have, let's see, you said there's a little arrow there. Let's see if I got that. Oh, that's Tom Fox. He's now a board member. He's been on both of, he was the director of both the missions that I went on. An amazing man. He was doing everything from patient intake to washing the surgical equipment and whatever needed to be done, Tom, jumped in. And this is the group of volunteers, doctors from multiple countries, and the staff, and then the most of the non-medical volunteers were from Southern California, our area. Now I think you guys might recognize this lady, Marianne. Apparently she used to be in this club. Delightful lady. She and I shared an office for the week or 2 weeks, and so yeah, wonderful lady. The key about these Rotoplast trips is the local Rotarians on the ground round up the patients, okay? And that is crucial because they get the patients, they have the contacts, they get the advertising out. Without the local people, this could not be accomplished. And in fact, I'm going to figure this out eventually. These two guys is the superintendent and the general manager of the hospital. That's a privately owned hospital that they basically gave up. The owners of this is Doctors Consortium had this hospital. They all gave it up for Rotoplast to use for 2 weeks. I mean, imagine what a hit that would be. And this gentleman here, you can see he's a Sikh, which is one of the minor religions in India. And this gentleman right here, he and his wife, Raul, he was like a driving force to get this going. And he combined with four Rotary clubs. They all combined their resources to bring this to pass in this town called Firozabad, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Agra, which is where the Taj Mahal is. And so the crucial thing is the volunteering, people giving of their time, not only by, the medical doctors and volunteers, but Rotarians on the ground. And we were, Raul was just a great host. So we meet in the San Francisco airport, and we flew to Dubai, and then I think it was 24 hours straight traveling to get there. Yeah, it's a little wearing, but luckily these days not a whole lot of people are going to Dubai. So if you're lucky, you can get a seat on an aisle, and no one else is going to sit there, and put your feet up, and you're good. But yeah, it's a long way to go. And these are the, so this is us meeting in San Francisco. And I love this one, the prayer rooms. These two, she's an anesthesiologist. She was on the Guatemala trip as a resident, and then her sort of nurse that is a critical care nurse. This is the oral surgeon from Colombia. So when we finally got to the hotel, we were greeted with these wreaths. At the airport, they gave us the wreaths. At the hotel, they gave us the wreaths. And they do this, put this paint on your face, which is a blessing for their culture. And at the very end, they did that again. So what happens is the locals put out an advertisements, radio, and said, hey, come, we've got these doctors. Now, everybody hears doctor, and they think of all of their problems, so they'll line up. And a huge part of this is the winnowing process to say, hey, is this the type of problem that we can help fix? And so what we found and these are from India, what we found here in this location which was surprising was an inordinate amount of burns. Now these surgeons can do, you know, in Guatemala there's like one burn patient. Now these surgeons, they're plastic surgeons, they can do the burns, but it takes a different set of equipment and stuff like that. But it was a very different experience because literally 90% of the patients were burn patients and adult burn patients who had horrific scarring. I mean, there's one, and for me, the challenge is finding pictures that I could post because the scarring was so bad. And so they have the first aid that they go through, they check and see, is the patient healthy? Do they have a condition that the rotoplast surgeons can help them with? And based on those, then they will send people away, and then they will start scheduling the surgeries. And then at the end of the day, they tell people, okay, you come back on Wednesday or Tuesday. And sometimes it's hard because, you know, they'll come for, you know, hundreds of miles to come here, and if they can't go back. So sometimes there's logistical issues that are worked through that Rotarians will pitch in to help someone stay here. So this is a traditional cleft palate case. And I think this one is also a cleft palate. The other thing is these quilts are just amazing. They're just beautiful. There's a Rotary Club out of Maine that is partnered, and now they've got like 3 sources of people who make quilts. And these quilts are given to the patients. So part of the, you know, inordinate boxes that we take, I think this time we had 28 huge boxes. There's a couple boxes of these quilts. And as coming from a long line of quilters, but failing in my heredity, I have a great appreciation for what it takes to do a quilt like that. And the nice thing is this one is they're bigger, but I mean, these people, and I think particularly, I took this picture because you look how dirty that feet is. The rest of that body's in surgery. They just bring them in, you know, put on the disinfectant and go to work. I mean, there's I'm blanking on the word, but the germs are there, and so these, and every kid gets a quilt, and every patient, because in this one we had a lot more adults. These are our surgeons. He was from Colombia. He's from Florida. He was our chief surgeon. He is from Guatemala, and he was on the Guatemala trip with me. And he is from California. And this is what they do. They just get them under there and start operating. But you can see how open that palate is. And it's not only on the exterior, but it's the palate on the inside is opened up. You know, some will just have cleft lips, but that's the palate. It affects their speech, and it's just a serious problem. Oh, I gotta. Okay, they'll have the surgeries, and the next morning, these surgeons will go around and check on their patients and see how they're doing the next morning. And these are gifted surgeons. Now, I have a greater appreciation for anesthesiologists after this trip, because those are the people that calm the patient down, keep the patient. I mean, everybody gets the patient ready and the surgeon walks in. It's the anesthesiologist that works with them. And you'll see this little toy. I mean, the things they did to get these kids calmed down. These kids are scared. Strange people taking them. Their parents can't come with them. They don't know what they're saying. And I mean, you have to sort of work with the child and help them calm them down. And then they'll, if they're not, they'll just give them the gas and enforce it. But they are great cuddlers, and I always had to get a picture of every one of them, you know, with the blanket and the kid. This anesthesiologist teaches at UC Davis, and his mother is quite a quilter, and so she sent her own quilts, and so he was under the assignment that he had to give out her quilts. And I promised him that I would get him pictures so that he could go for Sunday dinner at his mom's house and not get in trouble. But, and she made really good ones because her quilts are a little bit bigger. But, so for them, that's a family affair. This lady she is Indian, and she went to medical school in India and then moved to the US. And for her, as we talked about, and so she speaks the language, understands the culture, which is crucial. One of the challenges is the language, and like we had sort of communications problems is a challenge because you've got to find enough translators and whatnot, and people who can actually, there's a difference of being able to translate or being able to like hear what the language. There's various levels of proficiency that sometimes are problematic. And in her mind, she's paying because her med school tuition costs in India were minimal, but she got this great education. This is her way of paying it back. And in fact, her daughter had moved back to India. So then we have the nurses. This was the head nurse. And then we'll also have the locals have like they had their tech team. So we had some support for the locals as well. Speaking of Utah people, she's from Utah. She was a real character. And the other thing is these medical professions are tough. On the Guatemala mission, the head nurse was literally laying on a gurney with an IV in her arm, telling everybody what to do. And this lady, she was just she almost keeled over before she was like, just stop and just sort of take a break. Because physically, it is a grueling thing to do. I mean, it is incredibly rewarding, but you have to, I keep going to the gym just so I can do stuff like this because physically, it's long days, very, very long days, but very rewarding days. The PACU is a post-acute care unit. And so you'll see them all in there. So after the surgeries, they go in here. We call it, in layman's terms, recovery. And you have all the blankets and stuff. And this is the PACU team. And this is Tom, the mission director, doing everything. This is the boxes we had to take. So it's a huge thing, and you have one bag, so you can, because the other luggage is going to be a box. And if you look at this one, I don't have any pictures of this person because she wasn't comfortable with that. But imagine the whole body, but yet, despite the scarring, she could put a puzzle together. All right, these are the medical, non-medical people. Yeah, that was our sterilizer. I did sterilizing for a bit until I poked myself, and then they fired me. So these are the lives that are touched. These are from the Guatemala mission. This little guy, his birthday was the day he got his surgery, and he said that he had a good mind, and so he wanted to be a doctor if he could get his hand fixed. Again, yeah. And then, I just love that look on their eye of those two. Oops. Okay, this is just a smattering of some of them. These are and it's crazy. I had no idea that because the skin, if you're burned, the skin continues to constrict. And the really sad thing about it is there's stuff you can do, physical therapy, to keep the skin sound, but they don't know that there. So these people are having horrendous burns. They save their life and just send them home to be, and it's very poor. It's just the reality, but boy, it's a brutal existence for some. So I'm just going to go through these. These are just, I love that picture of the dad. This is in Guatemala, and this man and his son were in the market, and this old guy saw him and saw the son. He says, hey, told him about rotoblast, and this man he like gave him a ride and his son a ride to get there to get the treatment. The mother had died, and this dad was trying to raise his older sister and this little boy, and he was doing his best, but boy, it was bad. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So that's the thing you can do for $400, folks. That's why it's just like, this is worth the money. This is not sort of money being wasted. And see these, and the parents are so thankful. I love this. This little girl, she always had these wonderful bows in her hair. And she had the beautiful eyes. Yeah. Yeah, this grandma, she was a trip. Now I'm just taking you through this. Does anybody have any questions? Yes. Yeah, in the orange, yes.
Sorry. Do they do anything about the dental problems with these kids that have the cleft palates and stuff?
Well, unfortunately, not to my knowledge, because the dental thing, it's braces and all that stuff. And I mean, literally, we're going in for 2 weeks. This is triage. This is, trying to improve the look so they can function easier in society. You're absolutely right, because I know my nephews had, huge amount of orthodontia work, plates at the roof of their mouth, and, watching them do the surgery where they close the palates. That's a bit, man, getting in to the operating rooms and watching what these people do is just fascinating. So good point, but no. Yes, something.
In India, you mentioned the majority of the cases were caused by burns.
Correct.
Were you able to get data on the causes of these burns?
There didn't, yes and no. Anecdotal data. The town we were in was a glass factory town. And that was, but I mean, we would ask them, sometimes it's a candle, sometimes it's a gas burner. And so there didn't seem to be a specific cause that you could say, hey, stop doing that. And these people will stop getting, because they sent such a variety. So, no, yeah.
Janet, for Rotarians that want to volunteer and have no medical background, what is the time commitment? What's the financial commitment to, and how would we volunteer? Where would we go to volunteer?
Okay. The time commitment's 2 weeks. Basically, all these missions are 2 weeks. The financial commitment is you pay for your airplane ticket there and back. That's another plus. I went to India for the cost of like an airplane ticket, stayed 2 weeks, ate great food. And it's just the round trip fare to go to wherever you're going to. Now to sign up, what I've done, there's 2 ways. When 5300 is sponsoring a trip, they'll go around and say, hey, do you want to participate? And I don't know, and that's why I'd like to get more Rotarian involvement, because I think they didn't have a whole lot of applications for some reason, which I was sort of surprised. Or when I decided I was able and had time, I went to the Rotoplast website and filled out their application there. And then when advertisements start coming through Rotary, it's like, hey, we're having a mission, let's apply. Then I forwarded that to Roger as well. But I tried both of them because it's been a long time and whatnot, and I really wanted to get on one of the missions. So it's not, but it's worth it. Oops. Oh, did it go away? Did I push the wrong button? No, I did. Oh, you did. You set it up. Okay. So you saw that last thing of the Agra, India, and Taj Mahal. amazing. I come from my dad was a contractor and he did stonework, and the idea they could do that with, and what you don't see on pictures is the inlaid colors, and it is crazy. If you ever get to go to Taj Mahal, go. It's worth it. So I think that it's a worthy cause. Right now, they're not sending missions because of COVID. But the goal is, we don't want people to sort of back off, because there's going to be a backlog when things open up again. And so, please, if you guys got the money, please put Rotoplas on your to-do list, because $400 can change a life. So how many lives can you change? And I personally, after I came back, I continue to donate to Rotoplas, and my employer matches that contribution. And so, and then with the district, so like one contribution is matched by the district, the club, and the district, and I don't know, but there's a multiplier effect when you go up through Rotary International. But thank you. I really appreciate the time and you guys listening to me. Thank you.
So we're going to check real quick with Stu to see if there's any questions yet on Zoom.
The only thing in the chat box was already asked, was asked by Karen and was by answered, so I don't see anything in the chat box. Somebody maybe wants to jump in with their voice.
Our club makes a Share What You Can award to our guest speakers. And so we were making a donation to the USO Community Service Program in your name.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful. Wonderful. I guess I don't have to smile with the mask. Huh?
That's it. People can see your eyes smile. Again, we are anxiously awaiting Lowry's giving us the go-ahead to have more than 50 people and to set up the room that way. But our current agreement with Lowry's does still require that we ask everyone to RSVP prior to the meeting. And so even though we won't be, whenever that day comes, hopefully soon, we won't be limiting attendance. We still need to have everybody RSVPing. I don't know if that was very clear when I talked about that earlier. I apologize. With that, thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.
Bye, Zoomers. Have a great week.
Yep. Take care, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Stay safe.
Good seeing everybody.